Good day to you and happy new month to you. Yeah, today we'll be looking at why most farmers remains poor despite working hard. And of course, you need to understand that people believe that farming is all about hard work. Why hard work is, of course, it is very, very important. You need to understand that. So it is not the only factors that determine success in agriculture. Absolutely no. So we need to get this into our minds. But today, many farmers, wakes up early, work tirelessly on their farms, and still struggle financially. The problem is not always a lack of effort; it is lack of business strategy. So we need to get this clear. So, but today we'll be exposing ourselves in this video, and we'll discuss some certain important things, which is one, the difference between farming and agriculture, then common mistakes farmers makes, and then lastly, how to think like a farm owner rather than just a farmer. So, and I believe by the end of this video, you understand why some farmers remain poor, why others build wealth through agriculture. So go with me. Let's move into the business of the day. So first discussion today is the difference between farming and agric business. Okay, so you see, people think farming and agric business are the same. That's a wrong perspective. They are not. They are absolutely different. Understand that farming focus mainly on production, such as planting crops, you raise your animals, harvesting produce, etc. But farmers' attention is mostly on the farming activities, and that's where their areas of concentrations lies on. But agribusiness, they focus on the entire value chain, and that's where the wealth is. So because production is there, processing is there, packaging is there, marketing is there, distribution is there, and profitability. I have discussed this in my last or previous video. Okay, so an agric business owner asks, who would buy my product? Those are the things they consider. What quantity will they need? How much profit will I make? And how can I add value before selling? But a farmer produces food, but they don't consider that. But as an agri business owner, they build a system that generates steady income. So this is one of the biggest difference between struggling farmers and successful agricultural entrepreneur. Can you get that straight? And you can spot the difference between them. So let's move straight to the other aspect of this thing, which is common mistakes that farmers make. Numerous, but today I'll be mentioning five. Produced before finding a market. That's number one mistake, because many farmers plant first and then begin looking for buyers after harvesting. It is a wrong perception. So, you know, this would lead you to low prices, production and spoilage, financial losses. So stay away from it and avoid that. So, but successful agribusiness owners identify buyers before productions begins. Can you see the difference? Do you get me now? So, number two, Mistakes is factor the lack of record keeping, and this is a common thing in most businesses, most especially in farm businesses. So farmers do not have track records, their expenses, their revenue, their profit, but no record for it. So without records, it will be difficult eh, to know whether you are, you know, actually making money in farming. So you need to learn how to avoid this. So if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. How do you quantify your profit? Let's move straight to the third mistake you should avoid: mixing your personal money and your farm money. This is another big, huge mistake people will. But this is not one of the most common reasons. Very, very important, most. So, farm income should not be treated as personal income. Every successful farm should have what? A budget, financial records, separate account for farm operation. It is quite essential. So take note of this. Why I move down to the fourth mistakes you should avoid. You see, expansion too quickly. We should stay away from that. So farmers should not rush into expansion after one successful season because you're successful in one particular season, you now want to expand. No. So they now start leasing more land, you buy more animals, take unnecessary loan. Why? So without proper planning, expansion can create you more problems than your profit. So avoid it. So growth should be strategic and sustainable. So you need to understand this as a farmer. Finally, the number five mistakes you should avoid as a farmer: you don't ignore value addition. This is an essential things that we all need to look into. So when you are selling raw products, often it generates you lower profit. For instance, let me take for instance that you're selling fresh cassava. Why not process it into gari? You're selling maize instead of poultry feeds. You also, selling raw fruit instead of juice. All these things are value at the chain. So your value addition will increase profit margin and market opportunities. So start working and understand this particular value added change. So finally, we'll be looking at how to think like a farm owner and not just a farmer. Understand that wealthy and smart people in agricultural think differently. Okay, so they see farm as a business. They think, in terms of profit. They then ask, they do not ask how much did I harvest, but instead, what do they ask? How much profit did I make? Remember that your profit is more important than your production volume. Take note of this. So build a lasting system. A true farm owner creates system that can generate or operate even when they are absent. So, and this includes and not few to standard procedures, workers and supervisor, financial management system, okay, and finally, marketing plans. I hope this helps you.